Welcome to Sterling Weekly. Sterling up against weaker dollar on Monday and hit 1 month high of $125.25 as GBP/EUR hit 112. On Wednesday, it has surged to a 5-week top before stepping back to 125.66 and finally on Thursday hit 2-month highs. The pound rose to a 3-week highs against a broadly weaker dollar Monday morning as Britain eased some lockdown restrictions, but the market's net short position on sterling is the largest in more than 5 months. A fourth round of trade talks on relations with the European Union following Britain's departure from the bloc will start this week. Britain has until the end of the month to ask for an extension to the current transition period, which is due to end in December. The pound is being weighed down by a number of factors: Britain's high COVID-19 death rate, a lack of progress in Brexit negotiations, a bleak economic outlook, and the Bank of England considering negative interest rates. Cable's Tuesday's pullback could be traced from the US dollar's bounce off multi-day low. Even so, the Brexit talks starting on the day is the key to determining near-term cable moves. Before taking a U-turn from the highest since 1st of May, GBP/USD chaired the news from the Times that increased the odds of no more Brexit deadlock. The news suggested that the UK policymakers might compromise on fisheries and level playing field trade rules if the EU backs off from its maximalist demands. The speculations also gained momentum from the UK Express report citing the European Union's chief negotiator Michel Barnier expecting Britain will budge first to break the bitter impasse in the Brexit trade talks when they resume tomorrow. Even so, the two sides have historically shown no interest to agree on Brexit terms, and the tension remains high ahead of the final round of detailed talks. While the week-long Brexit negotiations will keep the GBP/USD traders busy looking for fresh details, updates concerning the protests in the US, as well as the US-China tussle, might also offer additional clues to the pair. The pound reached 126.14 against dollar midweek as the market kept betting against the greenback. The pound found some supporting local data as the UK Market Services PMI for May came in at 29, beating expectations of 28. However, there has been no progress in post-Brexit trade deals with the EU. Even worse, the Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey has recommended banks to bolster preparations for a no-deal Brexit. A final meeting is planned between EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson by the end of June, where it will announce whether the UK will leave the Union without any trade deal. UK Brexit negotiator David Foster released comments on Friday saying that negotiations will continue. We remain committed to a successful outcome. We are now at an important moment for these talks. We are discussing the EU on how to intensify the negotiating process. Any deal must accommodate the UK's position on fisheries and level playing field. This line remains key and gives away the fact that both sides are not willing to move on their red lines. As such, don't expect any progress no matter how many times they head to the negotiating table, as there is no willingness to compromise. The GBP/USD has moved back down to test the 200-day moving average at 126.64 and a rising trend line on the hourly chart at 126.57. The pair GBP/USD started week at 123.45, weekly high around 127, weekly low at around 123, closing at 126.60. The pair GBP/EUR started the week at 111.05, weekly high at around 112, weekly low at around 110, closing at 112.14. This is this week's Sterling Weekly. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.